Greetings. Tony from Old River Hardgoods again. Well, the music you're listening to is Abbadons Ride from my fourth CD, Eternity Bridge. As always, there's a link to the full version down in the description, as well as a link to the video of me actually recording the acoustic guitar parts for the song. And this video is going to talk about tools, and some travels, and maybe a quick flea market segment at the end. So got some interesting stuff here to take a look at, and it's 90 degrees outside. It's about 84 degrees here in the shop, so if I'm looking like I'm sweating, that's because I am. Well, first up we're going to take a look at is this wing divider. It's made by the PS&W company, Pexto and Wilcox, later became Pexto. And this bad boy is all of 18 inches long. 18 and change, actually. I sold a lot of this style divider by this maker and other makers, and most of them tend to be in the 7 to 8, well, anywhere from 6 inches on up to about 8 to 10 inches are more common. The bigger ones are very, very much less common. I've had some Sargents in this size, but this is the first big PS&W that I've had in a while. Get that junk out of there. All right. And what makes this one kind of unique is that it's got a blacksmith mark on the back. So we just know this was used. And the fine adjuster works. Locking screw works. You know, I remember when these big ones were selling for $1.25, $1.50. I mean, yeah, that's the price people were paying at eBay auction for them. So I got a pretty fair price on this one, but we shall see. So far, it's still here, as you can see. So, anyways, this is one of those hard to find collectible tools. This here is often called a piano maker's drill. It's a bow drill. There would have been a wooden bow with a leather thong that spun this piece here. This one was sold, probably not made, but this one was sold by Hammaker Schlemler company in New York, who at one time was a major supplier of tools. I've had some distant back saws that had their mark on them. I had wooden planes. I had carving tools. I had a whole bunch of carving tools one time with their mark. And this is kind of neat. The bits were set in a little what's called pads to hold the bit, and then there was a pin or something that would hold it in place. Obviously, I didn't get any bits with it, which would have been nice. Could ask more money if I did, but I'm not sure what kind of wood the handle is. But overall, this guy's in good shape. The little set screw here, which keeps the bothing positioned, works. Handle's got a couple of dings, but boy, this is another one of those rare and very hard to find tools. That's a user mark there. Sometimes you see these with bone inserts. And there's not much more to say, but boy, this is just a gorgeous and very collectible tool. Now, here's a set of tools that originally I thought were small stonemason tools, and I have seen these used for stonemasonry, but upon closer inspection and some serious cleaning, these are silversmith's tools. One of them has a P.S. Stubbs mark. There's a couple here, yeah. New York. Yeah. Our Hohen Company, which was a major New York tool supplier. And there's a variety of edges. That one's just straight. This little round punch, this one's actually made from a file. But then this one has a pattern. Has a very fine detail pattern, if you can see these. Stubbs. That one. That's kind of a neat rope type pattern, chain type pattern. There. And these two, which look to be kind of close in size, but there is a wee bit of difference. And again, boy, these tools are very, very, very hard to come by. And I did spend some time on them. All these guys had serious mushrooming. The bulk of it, the easy part of cleaning was just getting the rust off the bodies and off the faces. But up here on the striking ends, you can see some of it. I kind of had to attack with the grinding wheel because it was just, sharp, dangerous, and splintered. This is a bigger one that came in that bunch. I kind of did a little cleaning on, but I decided not to include it with this group. And of course you can see the damage there. And what I do with the grinder is I just kind of start working this stuff down in until it starts getting on the thin side. And then I kind of grind at an angle up along here, okay, to weaken where this checking and stuff is. Then I take it out to a little bench anvil, which I haven't brought out in a while, but I have one railroad track anvil. And using a small cold chisel, a fairly sharp small cold chisel, and a hammer, just split this stuff away. And then back to the grinder, clean it off, and then do a little dressing with the file. So there, you got some free technical advice. But anyways, again, these are very, 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 very hard to come by. I don't remember the last time I had a set like this. I mean, it's got to be 10, 15 years. And we'll see how long this one takes to sell, but who knows, right? That's all part of the game. Well, it's Friday morning, and I'm kind of slowly making my way down to the Kutztown Summer Antiques Extravaganza. Probably not going to be doing a full video on this, but, hard to tell what I'm recording right now. I might just sneak it into something else. It's a gorgeous day here in PA. I did have one detour. Not sure why. We had a nasty storm run through here Wednesday night. Just took out a whole bunch of trees. I mean, this thing freight trained here across the state, 50 miles an hour, and I mean, things are pretty much a mess. So, but hopefully they got it all cleared up by now, and today should be just right fine weather-wise. Ooh, and there's a deer. Yeah. As long as they're heading that direction and not across the road in front of me. We're waiting to get in. I'm kind of here, got here early, so I'm pretty far up the line. Yeah, somebody's back there. Can't really tell for sure that you get in, but the line's starting to stretch back. It is one gorgeous day, though. Yeah, there's a few vendors here. Kind of light, but I got a couple things already, so I guess I'll make the trip worthwhile. And here's the back section. You can see it's pretty light vendor-wise. I managed to snag a few things, and the bag's getting very heavy, so I'm going to go take a quick hike out when I get done back here and unload.
This year I would have to ask jail who I performed the gold part.
Well, I'm done this time. Didn't find nothing on the second pass. Heard talking with the one guy over at the flea markets. He said the guy pulled up yesterday, a Thursday, for setup. Big little wooden planes, and antique guns. And he said the dealers mobbed him. The guy sold out within like 4 hours. So what are you gonna do, right? But I gotta get back to the truck and on the road. And here we are, looking at the top of the Blue Mountain. Going down the other side. And here we have the haul from Kutztown, such as it is. Got this kind of neat, I guess it's a salesman's sample buck saw. It's got a hacksaw blade in it. It needs the spinner piece and a good cleaning, but more of a wall hanger than anything, but kind of neat. A rosewood pestle. Good shape, except for that remnant of a price tag somebody put on using epoxy, I think, but we'll get that off. This is kind of interesting. A hand-carved crimping tool, pie crimper or whatever, oak, and don't know what this is. It's got a little damage to the ends, but that'll clean up nice. Stanley Rowland level 6-inch tri-square, fairly clean shape. Cobbler's hammer, a few dings on the face and peen, but overall clean, good handle. A engineer style straight peen hammer. This one weighs in at 2 pounds 4 ounces, so I'm guessing probably about 2 pounds for the head. Withery gouge, Fulton firmer. This one's I think about 2 pounds 14 ounces in the straight peen department. This guy likes to paint his stuff. I've dealt with this guy before at some of the other markets, and he's a painter. He had some other good stuff there, but he was either very reasonable or very off the wall. So needless to say, I didn't buy any off the wall stuff. And last up is a set of 15, what we used to call tombstone carvers chisels. They're actually sculptors' tools, whatever. I mean, it's kind of a neat set, actually. They need some cleaning. I'm not going to worry too much about mushrooming unless I hit a sharp spot. Like there's a sharp spot. But these you definitely don't see around too often. Boy, I can tell you last time I had a bunch of these small ones. A lot of them are hand forged. You can see the shapes there. I might have to, when I get them cleaned up, do a little more, throw them in another video segment, so we shall see, right? And while these aren't what I call very uncommon, there's a matched pair of scraper planes made by the same hand. At least that's the way it looks to me. And there's a username on top of this one. They're both mahogany, slightly different shades, temperaments, but definitely mahogany. And I'm kind of working from the back there, but we'll get around to the front. And this one is flat-soled. And this one is convex, slightly rounded. And they came out pretty good as far as cleaning. They did have some paint on them. That was primarily that, and just a little bit of grunt to get off of them. The screws work. I'm going to take a little quick break here and get the blades out. All right. Got the blades out. This one isn't marked. It's got a little roughness on top, but other than some patina on the back section and that, cutting face is good, and there's a lot there. And this even has both of them have a little bit of a hook turned on them. This one's a piece from an old Diston hand scraper. Not many folks are aware, but Diston did make hand scrapers, and at one point they were pretty highly sought after. I had picked up a bunch, again, years ago, and boy, people were just paying all kinds of crazy money just to get them. So we know it's good steel, that's for sure. But anyways, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous pair of these guys. And yeah, you could probably make them on your own, but you know, the time involved, and there's probably what you'd spend to get that kind of mahogany. Yeah, I don't think so. So anyways, good collectibles, that's for sure. And here we have a draw knife by John Solomon Cantello. Now, I talked about him in a video I made on draw knives back in May of this year, and I got a link down there in the description so you can find it. And the one I showed there was a later version. This was his original patent, which was patent number 286385 and granted on October 9, 1883. You can kind of see the patent date there. And of course the maker's mark. And this was actually in pretty good shape considering the age of the tool. Was clean, of course. There's some oil staining, some scuffing on the blade. This individual definitely made his mark. But pretty simple operation. There's a little screw here you depress, lock the handles in place. And pardon my gruffness, but this heat and humidity has just been wreaking havoc with my voice. It's like 85 degrees with like 115% humidity here, and it's just miserable. So, and it's just a little too early to break the whiskey out. But you will have this. Anyways, the back is good. And again, you know, 120 plus year old tool. Definitely not too bad, and a very, very collectible one. At least it used to be. So, as I always say, we shall see. And here we have a very, very uncommon hair flattening or curling iron. This, of course, is hand forged. Either late 18th, early 19th century. See, the faces are flattened there. Kind of hard to see with the light here. There we go. Through the center style joint. And this, of course, was heated to straighten out the hair, either be on the head or with a wig. These loop style handles would have been wrapped with a thin cord all the way around up to here, both sides, to, you know, keep you from getting burned. But I've had a couple of the true curling irons, and I've only had one or two that had the cordage or a bit of the cordage. That stuff really just didn't make the journey. So occasionally you will see one of these with red handles, and they were made by drop forging, standard pliers with a lap joint. A gentleman by the name of Turner Kirkland, who founded Dixie Gun Works back in 1954, found a company down there that was still making the style for people to straighten their hair out over using stoves, and he needed something to use to make bullet molds. So they would haul these out for the different size, drill a hole for the sprue, and away you went. But they also sold blanks so people could make their own. And again, they show up from time to time. But anyways, this is kind of a neat tool, and another one that's probably going to be here for a while, because the appreciation for such stuff just isn't what it used to be. Well, the heat and humidity wave continues here in PA, and pickings between both markets this morning were not that good. I mean, the first market actually was pretty active vendor-wise. A lot of people were still coming in, but just nothing to be found. I did get this big travel chain, hand forged. That'll clean up fairly decent. Jury's out on this 1 3/4 inch Pexto gouge, but hopefully I can get it back to some semblance of shape. A Stanley number 70 slitting gauge, early mark on it. Hopefully get that screw. That's usually the problem with these guys, is the screws don't work. Brown and Sharp inside caliper. I guess it's the 802 if I remember correctly. A little more right inside caliper. Probably one of the best finds or better finds of the day. It's this green food chopper. I'm pretty certain this is 18th century. Needs a little cleaning. I guess his handle was replaced at some point, but hard to say for sure, since they don't usually come with a family genealogy. And the blast for this round is a complete K&E, I'm going to attempt to pronounce the full name, Mercury drafting set in the case, in pretty much unused or lightly used condition. So that's the first part of this picking. And the other purchase for today was this Colombian hardware company blacksmith vise. Oh, I'm not sure on the jaw size. I was going to bring a ruler out and I didn't, but I'm saying 4, maybe 5 inches. It's marked C over there. And, yeah, it's in fairly good shape considering how these things usually are. It's got the full leg on it. A lot of times you see them get sawn off. I already had the screw all the way out. The only thing I have noticed is this collar here has rotated a bit. It needs to be knocked back out and repositioned, but I didn't do anything with it, and I ain't gonna do much with it because this thing's just too freaking heavy. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure how the heck I'm getting it in the shop, but we shall see. And it's definitely going to be a pickup only item, because I ain't going to try shipping nothing this big. Them days are long gone. Well, since I did that flea market video, I had to move the blacksmith vise here into the shop because needed some hauling room in the back of the tank, as well as having to place switchy vehicles with the wife's car to get tires put on it for a road trip she's going on. And back in, 2018, right, the last day of October at Saylorsburg, I picked up an Emirates pattern maker's vise. And the guy and his wife loaded it in my car. Unfortunately, we lost her a few years ago. She was a good lady. But anyways, that thing sat there in the back of my Explorer. Finally got around to listing it in 2019, I guess August 2019, and it didn't sell until May. No, it wasn't May. It was actually July of 2020 during the COVID wars. So, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. As always, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed my little video here. And if you like what you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button to be notified when new videos are posted. Stay cool. Thanks for watching, and bye.